Hi guys. Um, Welcome back to my channel. We're in a very weird place. This is where I usually stream. This is my office and this is the mic that I use. Sorry for the echo in here. This is technically like my office. I have my YouTube plaque right there. This is where I sometimes edit. And also usually it's a very safe space for me in here because it's just kind of away from everything. This is where I play a lot of video games and hang out with you guys, hang out with friends. Um, I've been doing a lot of like journaling recently, um, and like kind of getting to the bottom of like what's going on with me. I just turned 23, kind of getting into those years of like, okay, let's get it together, girl. Let's let's start figuring out what we're doing with our time and with reality and our future and all that stuff. I'm getting to that point in my life. And the biggest things that I've had an issue with um recently is kind of like my consistency and my motivation and my desire to work as just a creative. Please ignore my hot Cheeto fingers. They're super embarrassing right now. But one of the biggest things that I've had an issue with is my motivation. And that's kind of what I wanted to talk about in today's video. I wanted to kind of finally come come clean, not come clean, but like kind of address the elephant in the room that's kind of been suffocating me and my channel, you guys. I know you guys can easily catch on to what's going on. It's not like I'm hiding anything, and it's been affecting so many aspects of my life. So if you guys don't know what I'm talking about, when I was 6 years old, I was diagnosed with ADD. My mom took me because I was a interesting little kid. I just wouldn't sit still. I would react to things very differently than the other kids. Um, I was just different. And I was put in, so when there's, I don't know how to explain it, but like the special needs kids, like they go to like their own classrooms and stuff like that. Um, and a lot of the time growing up, I was put in and there's nothing wrong with that, but those were the classes and the places that I was put in. I would take a lot of my classes in those classes with other um, either kids like me or kids with more severe situations going on. That was like a huge part of my like elementary and all that stuff. And I was in therapy and I was seeing a psychiatrist, Dr. Carter. Hello, I love you. If you're watching this, I know you're not, but Dr. Carter has been like my everything. He's been a huge part. He's like a second dad to me. He's been in my life for until I was 19 years old. So for 13 years he was in my life. I've known that man. Every adult has very inattentive um, moments where they're lazy or unproductive, and then there's people that are like super hyper impulsive. Everyone has those moments. Like it's a common trait that a lot of people have sometimes. It's not abnormal for some people to have those emotions sometimes. People like me that have this disorder, it's all the time. So much so and so severe to the point where it can severely affect my home life, my career life, my relationship life, my friendship life, my family life. It mainly comes from like this severe chemical imbalance, or not severe, but it's a chemical imbalance. Same thing with like depression, anxiety. Um, it's just a mental disorder. It's a mental illness. It's a mental thing. When I was younger, my doctor would tell me that it could potentially go away. The symptoms can lessen the older you get, or it could turn into adult ADHD. And a lot of you guys don't know this, but I moved in 2017 to California, and that kind of marked the beginning of kind of like a severe turning point in my behavior and how I acted. And by no means am I like, I want to make this disclaimer now that I'm not using my disorder as like a way of negating things that I've done. I think a lot of people like to say that I do that sometimes, where I blame my mistakes towards mental illness and mental disorders and stuff like that, and that's not the case. Is it an excuse? No, but is it a reason for those mistakes? Most definitely. Um, so I wanted to get that out of the way. I don't want this to be like oh, this happened because I have this, this, and this, and you should feel sorry for me and you should forgive me. It's not that. And I want that message to be very clear to the person watching this right now, that I would never do that and I would never tell someone to do that. Um, but when I finally moved to California, I got off of my parents' health insurance, obviously, and I then became my own person. I was in California with no health insurance, and that did affect me a lot because I had left Dr. Carter, I had left my therapist at the time, um, and I was kind of without those two important people in my life that was making me understand myself, cope with certain things. And also, I didn't have the people that were there to prescribe me the medication that I needed. And for 13 years, I was taking anywhere from Adderall to Vyvanse. I started Vyvanse in sixth grade, so that's 7 years. I was taking Vyvanse for 7 years. Um, I think I took a third one, but I think I only tried that one for a couple months because it gave me severe appetite loss, but I don't remember what that one was. It was definitely something I was trying in between Adderall and Vyvanse though. And then I was taking Zoloft as well for my depression and my anxiety. So I was basically going off of phone call meetings with my doctor to get that prescription, because I couldn't find one in California, and also I couldn't afford one at the time. I couldn't afford self-employed health insurance, which was going to run me $300 or more a month at the time. And I also had met this friend that was no longer a friend. They put me in this, and this is going to sound crazy, but and it's going to be so hard to explain, and maybe I can explain it in a future video, but this person was so manipulating emotionally. They would instill fear in me. It was one of those people that, and I never thought I would fall subject to someone like this, but it was someone that manipulated me to the point where I didn't think I had friends that cared about me. I didn't think I had family that cared about me. And this person made me believe that I didn't need this medication. They made me believe that it was killing me, that it was ruining my heart. They were basically, a lot of you guys know that I believe heavily in astrology and psychics and tarot readers. I believe heavily in all that stuff. Like, that stuff is my life. It's surrounded me for so many years, literally since I could remember. That stuff has surrounded me. My grandmother was into it. My mom's been into it. I've just always been surrounded by that environment. And this person I trusted had thousands of. It's hard to explain. I don't want to get into it because I don't want this person to get like exposed or anything like that, because I just don't want the drama. Someone that like was in that community and that I trusted and believed, and basically just dug all of these thoughts and beliefs. It was the same person that made me that convinced me that I wasn't even a gay man anymore, that I was a bisexual man or even a straight man. And they were grooming me into getting with women and sleeping with women when I didn't want to. It's a very intense, severe, super deep, in-depth relationship that I had with this person that took 4 friends, other psychics, my producer at the time, my assistant at the time, to like punch me and slap me in the face. I was just getting to know Carlos. It literally took all of those people to knock it out of me that this person is so bad for me and that this person was really fucking with me. Also, this person would force me to be on the phone with them for anywhere from 8 hours a day. Um, it was emotional. It was emotional manipulation. It was gaslighting. It was consistent fear mongering, instilling fear into me, telling me that I was going to die if I didn't do certain things. It was a very toxic, severe situation. I know I talk about it in a very light way in this video because I literally do not know a proper and healthy way outside of that on how to describe the horrific relationship I was in. It wasn't like a boyfriend type situation, it was like a friendship that made me, like, my entire life was surrounded around this person for 2 years. I had to undo every fear and every thought that this person instilled into me, and it was really, really horrifying. Like, having to come to terms with the fact that I'm not bisexual, I don't like women, and I was like almost manipulated into thinking that I was, and like all these fears and all these like traumas that this person instilled in me. Like, it took me so long to trust my family again, to trust friends again, because this person made me feel like I could trust no one, and that everyone was out to get me, and that it was just a very, very severe situation. And I'm just trying to explain to you that this person was so good at manipulating and gaslighting me to the point where I even stopped taking all of my medication and getting the help that I was needing for years. And I also want to make it clear that I am not talking about Kevin, my ex boyfriend. He was not a part of that. And he was probably one of the other people that was trying to get me out of that situation, but it was like too far deep. And honestly, to make it, I'm trying to explain all this right now without my face because I kind of tiptoe around everything while I'm watching me editing this. But this person made me think that Kevin was a horrible person, that Kevin was a psycho killer. Like, this person I was friends with made me think that even my ex-boyfriend was like this evil mastermind that was out to get me and to kill me and like destroy me and cheat on me and treat me like shit and all that stuff. Which, you know, at one point I did believe because of this person. This person was so good at convincing and making me believe anything. They would always say the right things for me to believe it. And I was such a gullible person, and they definitely used my anxiety that I suffered with to their advantage to really take control of me and take advantage of me. And it was a very severe, severe situation. August of 2017, I cut it. And I gotta be honest with you guys, that was the beginning of just a nightmare for me because I noticed all the things that I didn't notice it till now, until this past couple of months, that when I look back and I'm like, I've never been like this. I've never been so defensive. I've never been so nasty and mean to people. I've experienced the worst mood swings. I've experienced the worst lack of motivation to the point where it slips me into severe depression. I've never experienced this because I was medicated. I was seeing people that were helping me cope with those symptoms that come with chemical imbalance that's in my brain. Like, I was seeing for so many years, and I cut it cold turkey. And you guys know that you can never cut stuff like that, especially that messes with your brain, cold turkey. It is just so bad for you. You know, I just want to read off some of like the symptoms of ADD. Symptoms of inattention, which is attention deficit. Often makes careless mistakes and lacks attention to details. Often has difficulty paying attention to tasks. Often seems to not listen when spoken to directly. Often fails to follow through instructions, chores, and duties in the workplace. Often has difficulty organizing tasks and activities. Fuck. Often loses things like tools, wallets, keys, paperwork, often easily distracted by other things, including unrelated thoughts. Often forgetful in daily activities such as running errands, returning calls, paying bills, and keeping appointments. Um, and then the symptoms of hyperactivity and impulsivity, often fidgets with or taps hands and feet or squirms in seat, often leaves seat when remaining seated is expected, often runs or climbs where is inappropriate or feels restless, often unable to participate in leisure or activities quietly, often acts as on the go or driven by a motor, often talks excessively, me, often blurts out an answer before a question has been fully asked, often has difficulty waiting his or her turn, often interrupts or intrudes on others. Um, so this has been, oh, not my concealer. This has been embarrassing, to say the least, to see how out of control I got with everything, and it has affected my life. It's like every year since 2017, it has gotten worse and worse. You guys notice that I just don't upload anymore, and it's not because I don't want to. It's because every time I sit down and try and film, anytime I try and sit down and do fucking anything, it's like I fucking can't. It's like I literally fucking cannot compute on how to finish something, on how to handle something or handle a task, or even, you know how long it took me 2 weeks to edit, film, get research for that Mac video, and I'm so proud of it, but it took 2 weeks when it should have taken only 3 days. And it's just because everything about that video I held off until the last minute. And I had to force myself. And it's like it's so severe to the point that when I force myself to do something, I get anxiety, and it's like I'm like cringing trying to get through a task. And it is so fucking frustrating. I it's and it's not just affecting my career. I I don't it's affected my relationships with people. It's affected my friendships with people. I don't talk to anyone. I don't reply to anyone. I don't call anyone back. I can barely respond to emails. It has severely affected everything. And I think the point of me making this video is to give you guys this explanation as to why I've just been so far gone. And state real fast because I really don't want to offend anyone or make anyone upset, but I do know that ADD and ADHD comes in different shapes and sizes. It's very there. I definitely believe there is a huge spectrum, um, anywhere from very mild to very severe. Um, so the things that I suffer with aren't necessarily a thing that everyone suffers with. You know, like the severe mood swings. My mood swings get so bad to the point where I even considered that I had severe anger issues, and you know, you know, with ADD and ADHD, there can be symptoms of mood swings where you just don't know what mood you're going to be in, and sometimes your mood can go from this one to this one, and but I just want to make sure that you guys understand that it's a very just like with depression, anxiety, or any other mental illness or mental disorder, um, there's pretty much a spectrum, and there's different types and different ways and different symptoms that people have. So everyone's not the same. So what I go through wouldn't necessarily be something that the next person with the same disorder is going through. So I just want that to be clear as well. It did it's almost like a no shit, dude. Like no fucking shit. You have ADD. Of course you should be getting treatment for that. Of course you should be going to the doctor for that. But it's kind of funny because it's just like every time that I would say, "Oh, I need to set up an appointment. Oh, I need to go see a doctor." I just don't do it. I just don't fucking do it. I literally I just I hold it off, or like I'm supposed to set up health insurance. I just hold off on setting up health insurance. No fucking reason not to do it. It's not like I'm not doing anything. We're all in quarantine. It's just like, and then I keep forgetting, and then I feel like my ADD is even just fucking with my memory a little bit. And I remember a time when I was seeing two people every. I was seeing a psychiatrist once a month, Dr. Carter, my man, Susan every week. I was taking my medication regularly every single day like I was supposed to. I was working, I was getting things done, I was being productive, I was handling my shit the way that I was supposed to be handling my shit. And I was able to manage friendships, relationships, work. My mood swings weren't bad. I wasn't being impulsive with my actions. I think it's really affected how I react to people and how I talk to people and how I not really how I talk to people, but I feel like it triggers like this. It's made me feel like fucking stupid. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, my brain is always somewhere else. It's made me so messy. It's made me so scattered everywhere. Like, I can even feel my own energy. Like, my energy is just scattered everywhere. And it never used to be like that. You guys can look back at like how I was. If you've been following me for a while, it's like every year, it's like progressively like a nightmare. Like 2016, I noticed that's when I got really fucking ballsy on how I act towards people. And it's because I wasn't home. I wasn't seeing my doctors. I wasn't taking my medication regularly. I had it, but I wasn't, I was stuck in LA for 6 months. I was stuck in LA for 6 months because I hopped on a plane. I made a dumb mistake. I hopped on a plane with only $1,000 in my bank account, and $1,000 in LA gets you a week. It gets you a week and some change, and that is it. And I never hopped back on my flight back to North Carolina. I just made an irresponsible decision then, and for 6 months I wasn't taking my medication, and I noticed just if when I look back and reflect on it, it was just a completely different Thomas. Because I look at how I was when I went back on my medication towards the end of 2016, and you guys saw I was posting those amazing, beautiful looks that were so well thought out. My attitude wasn't evil or nasty towards people. I wasn't calling out influencers or brands or doing any of that. I wasn't acting on crazy impulses and doing anything severe like
To be
that.
clear, again, I don't want people to think that I'm blaming those actions of me being a nasty person to influencers solely on the fact that I had those severe mood swings and that issue with ADD, because I don't want to offend anyone that also has ADD who doesn't have those symptoms of wanting to be like nasty to someone else. I'm not trying to say that having ADD makes you a mean person or makes you like want to call out influencers or be like unstable towards people. Like, that's not what I'm saying at all. So I want that to be very vehemently clear that that is not at all what I'm saying. I'm saying that with my symptoms and how my ADD was making me act, that was how I was like. It was just making me have severe anger issues, and severe like impulsive issues with, and blunt issues. Like, I'm already a very like straightforward, to the point person. Even when I was completely medicated and treating my ADD, and when I didn't have that in place, and I had that, I noticed that my anger issues were getting worse and worse. It just, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. I'm not trying to make an excuse as to why I did those things, or anything where I had a severe anger problem or anything like that. I'm not trying to blame it on my ADD. I'm just trying to give an explanation, and a potential reason as to why I was acting like that. And I also don't want to say that just because someone has ADD that they're going to have like a severe attitude problem all the time, or like are going to be mean towards you. I'm not trying to say that at all. Those are just something that I was dealing with and I had symptoms of, and that's what my ADD was doing to me. Again, ADD is a chemical imbalance, so it's not something I was completely in total control of. I don't think anyone's ever in control of a chemical imbalance in their brain, to be honest. But again, when I'm saying this stuff and I'm trying to share my story, I really don't want to offend anyone because I know that mental illness and mental health is a very touchy subject for a lot of people because everyone's story is very personal and unique to them. So I don't want my, and I'm not trying to villainize or make ADD sound like this scary thing to have. But I do notice that ADD has this stigma of, oh, I just have ADD, girl. Or, oh, oh my God, you guys, I'm so depressed. Oh my God, my anxiety is so bad. Like, it's one of those things where people just don't take it seriously. People don't take it as a very serious thing that people struggle with. And I think the point of this video is to bring awareness that ADD is a very severe and that people, it can affect people in a very, very negative way. It's not just like, oh my God, girl, my ADD is so bad. I cannot focus right now, girl. Like my ADD is so bad. Like it's not just about focus and anything like that. There is so many layers to it and people just don't talk about it. People think it's just a simple, run of the mill mental disorder, like, but it's no, it's very, it's just no. So I really hope I'm not offending anyone. This is just my story and how I've been dealing with my own ADD. I know I have a platform, so I don't want this video to do harm. I want it to do good. So hopefully me elaborating a little bit more here is helping a little bit. So.
I didn't even touch on the depression side of things because I struggle with depression and that only got worse over the past couple of years. And then my anxiety has been terrible. That's a whole other ball game. It's just honestly the three things that I deal with, these three fucking things, depression, ADD, and anxiety. It's like these three bitches are up in this brain right here fucking with me. I'm like I think someone's trying to set me up. Like, what do you mean I have depression, anxiety, and ADD? Okay, what next, bitch? Like, can I can I breathe? Can I live? Can I fucking live? No, all jokes aside. Um, if you're someone like dealing with this stuff, you're not fucking alone at all. This shit sucks. Tits, ass, shit, dick, balls, everything that you can potentially suck on, nipples, sucks, fingers. I hate it. So all I ask is until I get this shit figured out, give me some patience. You already have. There's so many of you that just like, I'm waiting for you to upload. I love you and I'll always support you. And I don't know what the fuck I did to deserve people like that. And to the people leaving, I get it. I don't mind. I get it. It sucks, but I get it. Like, why would you subscribe to a dormant channel, to a dormant Instagram, to a, like, why would you? I'm not uploading. And when I do, it's like the most half-assed shit ever. It's like when I look back at like my 2018 content, even though I wasn't on ADD meds, I was still I was still like producing content. And I think it's because I had so much help. Like I didn't have to rely heavily on just like me. I was just the person on the camera, behind the camera, but I had a team of people. Like, I was making so much money that I had a manager. I had so many people doing things for me. And when all that stuff left because of the Jeffree Star scandal, people don't understand that I lost everything. I lost deals, I lost management, I lost, tour deals, I lost merch deals, I lost a team of people. I lost everything. It wasn't just like, oh my God, he lost subscribers. Mama, I lost everything because, of that leaked audio message of me like saying that I want to backstab Manny or some shit. I was a different person. Um shit, that's the fucking ruined my life. No, but yeah, that shit I had so much help, but now that I have all these responsibilities, my brain can barely I can barely focus on editing this, or like I can barely focus on filming this fucking video. That's get to the point. Get to the point. Um, fuck. If you even saw my unedited footage, if you saw my unedited fucking footage, the past year of videos that I've been filming, would scream. You would scream. Just know, before I sign off, just know that I'm gonna get the help that I need. I'm not surrounded by people that don't love me anymore. I'm not surrounded by people filling my head with craziness. I'm not surrounded by people that manipulate me. I'm with the love of my life, Carlos Osorio. I I know that my family's not evil. I know that my mom's not evil. I'm surrounded. I love them so much, and I've been talking to them all the time. I've been super safe during this quarantine, so please know that I'm in a good space, and because I've been in such a good space, I've been able to take a step back and write in a journal, which has been really hard. Writing in a journal and sitting still and writing in a journal has been one of those moments where I'm just like cringing while I'm doing it, because it's like I'm like literally sweating trying to force myself to focus. It's so severe at this point, and I've just been working really hard on doing it because I know it's good for me to streamline my thoughts, because I think another side effect of ADHD and ADD is having like this like loud, super loud, like a million different thoughts going in your head, and they're really loud, and they get louder and louder and louder and louder, and you can't even think. Like, you start thinking about one thing, and then you think about the other thing, and then you think about and then this and this and this and this, and it becomes like this. Like, you're just like sometimes I'll literally just be in bed crying, like doing this, like trying to like stop thinking. And I know it's not great. I'm not hearing voices in my head. Let's be clear on that. I'm not like, I don't have, you know, I'm not sure what that is. I think it's schizophrenia. I don't have anything. There's nothing wrong with that. But I'm saying, um, but it's just like so much, just so many thoughts, and I can't like. So sitting down and writing in a journal, just streamlining my thoughts and like writing everything down as it comes, and just fully understanding where I'm thinking and what I'm thinking, and processing everything that I'm thinking when I get in those modes, because it's not all the time that I'm like a million thoughts in my head. I think it's a lot of it's very much so like when I feel overwhelmed. It's like really overwhelmed with everything that's going on, and like and yeah. So um just know that I'm in a really, really safe place. And I think because I've been in a very safe environment, that it's been able to allow me to open up and look at this part of myself that needs to be nurtured and taken care of, because it's really affecting everything. Honestly, it's really affecting my life. Everything. I can see it now, and seeing it now has opened my eyes to everything, and reflecting on these past 3 years, and the behavior swings, and seeing all the symptoms right in front of my face of adult ADHD. And it's not that it went away, it never went away. You never a professional never told you it went away. Just stop taking your medication, and day by day it slowly got worse and worse and worse. If you leave something untreated, it's just going to get worse. Like, if you leave a wound untreated, it's going to get infected. So it's just gotten worse month by month, year by year, and I'm over it. I want to take control back. I want to take back control of my identity, my life. I used to be such an organized, concise, getting everything done individual. I was a nicer person. I was able to manage my emotions a little bit better, process my emotions a little bit better. I was so much better with everything. And I want to be back to that person, because he got his shit done. He was a great guy, and I'm not happy with the person I am today. I haven't been happy with myself for 2 years, 2 to 3 years. So I'm going to be working on it, and I'm super excited to take you guys on that journey. And I hope you guys will be able to see the transformation, that the pure transformation. I really hope you guys will be able to see that transformation. I hope to see the transformation. I hope my boyfriend does. I hope my family does, to be back to the person that I know I'm supposed to be, and get my head right. So I hope I didn't say anything like I wasn't supposed to say. I know we live in a time where I know, at least with me, that motherfuckers will take one sentence in this video and spin it and twirl it and backflip it. And honestly, if you do that, you can lick my asshole. But yeah, so I love you guys. I'm gonna end this video now. I've been filming for 50 minutes and I don't know. I'm gonna edit this to make it make sense, but guys, see you in my next video. For listening to